But that's a great tie-in into like this next question. But like,
Mhm.
we both know that you're an independent, but is there a reason you chose to be independent or versus trying to get on a label initially, or did you try and get on a label? Because I know they both have pros and cons. I'm heavily biased towards the independent anything. Like my book, The Anatomy of Financial Success, is
Uh-huh.
self published. So anytime
You
there's
gonna have to
opportunity to
send me
be
one of them.
independent, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
you're gonna have to send me one of them too. Is there you gonna have to send me like the link so I can order that?
Oh
I
yeah,
know it's a way I
definitely.
can order that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How much?
Depends on what version, fam. Paperback, Kindle, or audiobook. But the paperback version is around 18.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that then afterwards. I get the link from you. I need, but honestly, when I was younger, it was all about getting a deal and signing with the biggest label in the world and having them do this and that. But as years progress with the music industry, you start
Mhm.
finding out different things, and I'm glad you touched on this because this is something I be want to talk about. But I'm not the kind of guy to get on the internet and just how dudes just get on there and talk about it. I'm not that kind of guy. I really don't like social media that much.
Mhm.
So the thing is, I'd rather be independent because a lot of these labels do not look at you as talent, or they don't care about your talent, is what I should say. They
Mhm.
only look at you if they feel like you can make them lots of money. And that's not where I want to be at. If I do sign to somebody, it would only be a partnership to where they distribute my music and I'm not a full-time artist. I had a dude from Warner Brothers. I don't even know if he was real or not, but he said he was from Warner Brothers. He sent me a contract, and the contract didn't have nothing in there about my royalties, about my masters, my publishing. It was just like, you can sign with us, you can't do music with nobody else. And I was just like, out of them first two sentences, I told him I respectfully declined because I already ain't finna have nobody telling me who I can and can't do music with. That's not something
Mhm.
I'm interested in because if the next hot artist want me to do music with him, I'm gonna do that. It's not no question about that. He could be locally hot.
Right.
I don't discriminate. So for you to tell me that I can't do music with whoever I want, or I can't write this type of song, or I can't put this out, I'm not with that. You're not finna control what I work to build up all this time, and you trying to put like a lock on what I'm doing. It's not gonna happen like that. And so that's why later on down the line in life, I started leaning towards independency. And then once I figured out like how to do it and like how to go about it, that's when it really started coming into play. Like, me and my brother did a show out in Clarksville, Tennessee one time, and this dude named Carlito Ward, he was like an A&R for Universal Music.
Mhm.
Universal Records, and he came out there and he was telling us, you need this amount to start a record label. He was like 20,000, 25,000 or something, and it'll get you everything you need, contracts, lawyers, all that good stuff. But the
Mhm.
thing was, at that time we just kids, so we not coming up on those 25,000 that easy. You gotta have a trade or somewhere, do something
Right.
you ain't got no business doing, and we weren't trying to do that, so so it was like, we'll figure it out, and now it's so easy to the point where I use United Masters to distribute my music through because it's free to put your music on there. You don't have to pay yearly to do that. You just put it on there one time, and excuse me, you put it on there one time, and they distribute it to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, just any place you can think of that you can put music on. They
Mhm.
distribute it through there, and they don't ask for much of a percentage of it either. If you don't pay for the monthly, a yearly. They got a yearly premium where you can get 100% of your royalties. and they won't take nothing from you. You know, they just put your music on there, they distribute it in, and you do all the promotion though. So that's the thing. I still
Mhm.
get to promote all my music the way I want to promote it, you know. And I just feel like that's the best way to do it because you're gonna see all your money, you know what's coming in and what you generate monthly and yearly. So you ain't gotta worry about nobody, you know, behind your back taking the money out and you don't know where this is went, you know, like for instance, Megan Thee Stallion. She signed to the dude who was a baseball player and he
Mhm.
had his own record label. She signed to him and she said that after all her expenses from studio time to videos and all that, they was only giving her $40, bro. $40.
Oh
And
man.
you know, that's what they call a 360 deal. So it's basically like people to me it's too much information out here for you to be even signing a deal like that. You know, people like Jadakiss talk about the 360 deal and tell you how not to sign it. Even Waka Flocka was talking about how he had a 360 deal and you know it wasn't right and how they, you know, they play you out your money. So when you start hearing stories like that, it's like, okay, I need to just be independent, obviously, because me
Mhm.
not knowing the ins and outs of it like that, they could easily get over on me because they've been doing it for so long. And so that's why I stuck to the independency.
Gotcha. It's a smart choice based on what you just said.
Mhm.
Yesterday I was just watching the NWA Straight Outta Compton movie, and I just remember that scene where Ice Cube. I don't know if this is genetic memory. Ice Cube's son played that part to a T.
Man, what? To a T, did he? And look just like him.
Right, right, right. But that scene where Jerry, the guy who was managing
Yeah.
Eazy-E's Ruthless label, tried to get Ice Cube to sign a contract without running it by a lawyer first. Ice Cube said, "All right, that's cool, so I can run this by a lawyer for some first." So he's saying, "Well, no, like here's the $75,000, like sign this." So he's like, "No, I don't understand this legal stuff. We're gonna all need lawyers before we sign off on anything." Everyone else
Yeah.
had already signed off, and like he's just trying to convince him to like, look, if you walk away, you're not going to be anything. He's like, look, I'd rather be broke than get screwed over. He gave that
I'm
stuff
trying to
back,
tell you.
went on his own, and look at Ice Cube today.
Right. And he doing better than a lot of them. I think him and him and Snoop probably got the biggest outcome. And I don't
Yeah,
even think Snoop was a part of it. I think he just so happened to come around with the whole Death Row thing. Because I don't even, matter of fact, yeah, he wasn't even a part of NWA. So
right.
no, it's Cube and Dr. Dre is who I'm thinking of. Dr. Dre, he came out with a nice little outcome, but even him, he waited all that time to leave. You
And
know,
he went
Cube
through
was the
hell to do it
yeah,
too, because like
yeah,
at the end he had a partner with a Suge Knight, and
yeah,
it got the roles kind of flipped. Suge Knight used to be his bodyguard, and it flipped, and now he's kind of working for Suge Knight and didn't like it, so he eventually left that and formed
yeah,
Aftermath. But it's like he had to go through all that crap to eventually get to the Aftermath, where he knew a lot about the industry and do it himself. Ice Cube went when he didn't know anything and just
yeah,
decided to figure it out, and I think that's
yeah,
why he had the biggest outcome out of them all. He just
for
had the
sure.
balls to actually go out there, figure this stuff out, and then when it hit big, he got to keep all of it. Versus,
Yeah,
because these deals, well, in anything, like in the last podcast I did with Larissa, we were talking about the process of publishing a book. And one thing we talked about big time was the pros and cons of traditionally publishing versus self-publishing. And the pros were heavily biased towards the publishing side. I mean, self-publishing side, because like the
hmm,
other side, you get peanuts for royalties,
yeah,
and they might
yeah,
try and bait you with like a big sign-on bonus. If you are gonna do it, then you better make sure that sign-on bonus is like a lot. Like, oh,
yeah.
well, I better get this stuff up front, like a lot, and most likely then they're not gonna give you that. So it's like, let's just stay independent.
It's the same thing with rap though. That's the exact same thing with rap. They try to throw a little chicken bone in your face, like, oh, we'll give you 100,000 to sign with us. And that's just like I'm watching the Wu-Tang show. You
Mm-hmm.
seen that? Okay, so basically on there, once they get things rolling, you know, they get a label and he talking about 100,000 and but they want to mess with their image and do other stuff to the group, and then the other label talking 200,000. They gonna do this, this, and that. But RZA, the dude who's playing RZA, he's like, nah, I ain't feeling that. I want everybody to stay Wu-Tang, but they can do a little, a little solo type of situation with a record label, but they still owned by Wu-Tang Productions. And that's my whole thing. That's like basically what I said. Like, I'd rather do a distribution deal, a partnership, than to actually give y'all my everything and then y'all take it and I can't do, I can't get nothing. You see what happened to Lil Wayne. He did all that music with Birdman and then had to go to court about his money. And I ain't even trying to have to do all that. I'd rather it all come in and I know what's coming in and what's coming out, like Nipsey said, all money in, no money out. So, man, I'm just trying to make sure I don't fall in the footsteps of some of these other cats in the game because, man, a lot of people don't make it back from them type of situations, man. A lot of people do not. So, you got to be careful with who you're dealing with. And like you said, you got to be more like Ice Cube, man. Get a lawyer. You don't understand what that contract's saying, man. Get somebody who you feel like can, break it down in terms so you know what's going on with what they're trying to give you. And you can't just jump on the first deal that you see because you don't know who's looking for you or who's watching you and who trying to actually be there for you as an artist. So if you just jump on the first deal, you might have ran into somebody like Megan Thee Stallion ran into, and now you only getting $40 for all your work that is worth maybe billions of dollars. So you gotta know what you're doing, man. You can't be too quick. You can't be too money hungry. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, even if you ain't got money, act like you got money in that type of sense.
Sup everyone, y'all just watched a clip from one of the episodes of the Side Hustler Society podcast. If you want to check out the full episode, you can click on the link in the description right now or click on the video that's showing in the end screen. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when another episode drops, and a thumbs up on this video is very much appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one.